Don't get me wrong, I love being single and I love living alone.
You're a liar!
Boy, I just love it so much. It's just okay. Your face says otherwise.
great, it's fantastic, but fuck, it's expensive.
Very expensive, baby girl.
Ah! I just spent $600 on brakes on my car, just on the front part of the car, because I couldn't afford all 4 brakes.
Yeah, that's good. Don't buy all 4 brakes. Just buy 2. Just buy 2. Going off on the road. Oh no, I only have 2 brakes. That's a really smart investment.
Axles and rotors and whatever the fuck.
Language.
And then now I just paid my car payment, which is $500, so I just
Okay, I mean that's not bad. $500 for a car payment. Probably a used car.
blew $1,100 in like
$500 for a car payment ain't bad. That's based off what people are making. Wages hasn't really gone up. So to me, that's a big dent in your budget, as well as we're not even going over if you have student loans or any debts or anything like that. But let's get back into it.
3 hours, and it wasn't even like fun,
Get rid of your cell phone. You ain't gotta have a phone. I remember back in my day, ain't nobody have a phone. You had that house phone. Well, I remember back in my day, all you dialed was them 7 numbers. You wouldn't even dial an area code. I remember when they brought in them area codes, I said, them dadgum pesky area codes. I remember that day. I was madder than a hornet's nest. Well, let me tell you, I did not want to dial them 3 numbers before them 7 numbers. Oh, doesn't she look so happy, though?
fuck. Sorry, it's just so overwhelming. Like,
Her caption also says, I see girlies getting their nails done, hair done, lip fillers and Botox, shopping sprees, vacations, and I'm like, how? More than likely it's because they're hot. And newsflash, you're not. Hate to break it to you, baby girl. You look like a...
Big back, big back.
work and you 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 work, and it's just to pay off like your basic necessities.
bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Ah!
This lady probably working at TJ Maxx talking about, why don't I get paid more?
Did this dude really take the Dora Explorer sound effect and somehow AI generated to say big back, big back? That's crazy. This dude's wild. But yeah, listen, it's tough out here trying to be single, especially I think just in general, because it was funny. One of the things that she mentioned that was like has her even ranting about this is because she had to get her brakes changed, and she only changed the front brakes and didn't change the back ones. Some of the ladies, man, y'all have like just regular car things, and y'all turn it into like these world-shattering emergencies. When it comes to your brakes, anybody can do that, first of all. Most likely, the reason it was so expensive, she probably tried to go to the dealer to get it done. Listen, with something like that, you could have gone just about anywhere and got your brake rotors changed. She's paying $500 a month for her car, so it's not a new car. It's not like that's going to affect your warranty or anything. Anybody can change some brake pads, and you can shop around until you get the best number. For me, I get it done, or when I had a not so newer car, I would just get it done by what we call the Migos, meaning I just go to like a Latin, repair shop or something, and usually they'll take care of you and they'll do a good job. So that's what I usually do, but I always make a rule of thumb, like I call minimum 10 to 15 places around my area, and I get the quotes before I even get there. Why just show up and have them tell you whatever once you're there, when you can get the quotes and lock it in, and before you even get there, you've already done the negotiations. And, by sitting at home, just calling on the phone, that's where you have the most leverage. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually does help out tremendously. So if you could do that, it would make a big impact.
No one is talking about how if you live in this economy, this day and age, and you are single, and you pay all your bills yourself. Don't have no help. You a badass. Because, baby, the price tag is high over here. No one is talking about how
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, we got the essentials jogging suit.
Good morning. I'm about to start my day. Talk to you later.
Content creators, hear me out.
Oh man, I'm
Another
glad he kept
order,
that in.
man. Yep. Have a good day. Yep.
Anything else?
Another 4-piece.
You know, I'm glad he was actually transparent about how his day really legitimately goes, because it's telling. The first most glaring thing that we can obviously anchor ourselves in is this brother's car. This brother got the burgundy seats and he got the sunroof. So he's got the premier package of whatever the car is that he's got. He's got a nice car. And obviously he can't afford it. He's doing DoorDash. So now he's living in it. And you see what his day consists of. And I'm not going to lie, you know, social media at this point is becoming an addiction. So you kind of have to give people a certain degree of grace, because it is absolutely maliciously targeting people in order to keep them on for longer. You know, it wants to keep you on their platforms as long as possible. It's just that simple. Now, he may not even be in this situation necessarily because he can't afford an apartment. I think he would probably work as much as it would take, but he may have something on his record, or like an eviction. Heck, it could be a criminal record. Anything. See, we don't really talk about that. You can still make money. Obviously, with DoorDash, he doesn't have the W-2s for his job, right? To be able to show apartment complexes. So basically, he's in a dilemma. If he can't buy a house, nobody will probably rent him an apartment. And if he doesn't have any family he can stay with or anything like that while he gets his stuff together, then this is where you can ultimately end up. So what this reveals is that it doesn't just come down, it reveals something that's always been true in life. It doesn't just come down to you being able to make money and be able to generate revenue. Your reputation is very important out here. Your reputation is still very much important in this world. And if you have something on your reputation, it can still hinder you from being able to sustain yourself. You can have all the money in the world. You have a bad reputation, they're not going to rent to you. And what it also reveals is that we still need people. We still need other people. We still need to depend on other things outside of ourselves. You see, he's just in his phone, just in his car. We start to get so in our little echo chambers, like they like to say, or so much in ourselves when we start being so, we try to be so independent. And then you get the news flash. No, you can't just be out here doing whatever you want based off your own philosophies, based off what you think is right necessarily. You you also have to cohabitate with other people who at some point you're going to have to lean on. And, that could be possibly what he's going through. But I doubt he owns his car. So at this point, he's really just working to be able to keep up with his car payments, because that's the last thing that's basically keeping him from being exposed outside fighting against the elements.
Nobody is talking about how expensive it is to be single, okay? Because when you're single, you don't have anybody that's out here buying you food, helping you with the bills. And if something breaks, you don't have no handy dandy man around the house that's like, oh, I got it, babe. I'll fix it when I get home, or whenever he decide to fix it. No, you either got to get on YouTube University, or you got to go pay somebody. You got to go pay somebody else's man to come in your house and fix it for you. It's too expensive to be single, and people want to be out here cheating, and you better lock you one person down, because it's too expensive out here to be alone. Okay? Don't just go lock down anybody, make sure they respectful and they love you. But y'all also got to understand, it's a business. A relationship is really a business, okay? You got to invest in one another, and I need somebody to come invest into me, because it's expensive to be single. Yeah. I want somebody to buy me some food, pick me up some food on the way home, or buy me something just because. I don't know.
I think she has all the right intentions, so I'm not going to come for her, but I don't like all this handy dandy man stuff. Listen, man, we're not that handy. Understand, when we got to solve something, fix something, put out a fire, we're going on YouTube University too. The difference really is just the mindset. We haven't been groomed to be saved all the time. We know that when we encounter a situation, we have to figure it out. We have to overcome that wall and keep moving. Whereas the mindset on her side is that she would just like somebody to just come and relieve her of that. For men, there is no relief. So the key difference is really just a mindset thing. It's not that we're just so handy dandy and we can just do all the stuff you don't want to do. It's really a key mindset thing, which also I believe segues right into leadership. So I'd like to start seeing some of the ladies just say, I would like some leadership, in my opinion.
Never had to quite confront my singleness until this past couple weeks. I have been single for all 28 years of my life, and normally that doesn't bother me. I have my best friend, I have my siblings, I do everything on my own. I moved across the country, I have my cats. I'm generally happy, and I don't have to interact with the fact that I'm alone in a romantic sense, until my friend from college is getting married. And I live in Illinois, and she still lives in Texas, which is where I'm from. And, I have never really had to go somewhere on my own where I wasn't meeting family or having someone at the other end or having someone go with me. So the fact that I am paying for everything on my own, I'm paying for flights, which you have to pay for anyway, flights, a rental car, a hotel, and then also I lost my ID, so I can't get a rental car unless it comes in the next 4 days. And, it would just be nice. It'd be nice if there was someone else there. And in this instance, it's my friend. It's not my best friend's friend. So, why would she come to some random person's wedding? Whereas if you were in a relationship, that would make more sense for a partner to be at your college friend's wedding. That makes sense. And I was just thinking about it in the shower, and I was like, I would have paid half a hotel room instead of the full amount. I would have paid half of the rental car instead of the full amount. In the instance where I lost my ID, the other person could have used their.
No, you probably would have saved more money than that. Here's why. But before we address here the reason why, let's just address the fact, like, you were, according to you, which I don't believe, you were perfectly fine, you were perfectly happy until you saw something external, and that just changed your whole thought process and ultimately your happiness. Boy, I tell you, man, you're just not, you're clearly not happy if just by seeing somebody else happy or whatever the case. Also, you're running into all these situations and all these things you have to react to, and it's becoming overwhelming. And that's enough to just all of a sudden, you've been happy for 20 years, and all of a sudden now you're like, oh my gosh, it would just be nice to have this and that for these type of reasons. But you would have saved a lot more than just half if you had a man, because most likely he'd have said, oh, a college friend? You don't even talk to her like that. We're not going. And then you'd have saved a lot more money. See, and that's what it really comes down to. It sounds like she doesn't really have the money to be able to attend this outing, but she's trying to make it happen when it really doesn't make feasible sense. And see, that would have been the benefit of having a man if you actually allowed the man to do what he was designed to do, i.e., make the call. And he could have been the voice of reason in that situation to say, we got these goals that we're trying to work towards, because you would also have some goals, most likely. We got these goals and milestones we're trying to work for. She just came out the woodwork talking about her wedding or whatever. Shoot, I don't care if she gives 8 months notice. Nah, we're not spending the money just to go on a weekend and then the money's gone just like that. Poof. So I think that's what I think. I think, if you had a man worth his salt, you probably just would have been like, nah, waited, thought about it. We cool.
Driver's license, or they could have split the $70 Uber that it's going to take to go from the airport to my hotel. So I don't know, it's just stuff like that where I've yes, I've wanted a relationship and I've longed for one, but I don't think I've ever had a sustained longing for a relationship in a way that it's like, damn, life would be so much easier if I had a partner. Keep your panties out of a twist. I know there's hardships in relationships. I know sometimes people are terrible people, even if you're dating them, blah, 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 whatever. I know. But to have that other body and to have that other, budget, I don't know. It's one of those times where I wish I wasn't alone, because then I wouldn't have to shoulder all of this alone. I opened a credit card to go to this wedding, which I don't regret. I'm getting miles from it. I'm gonna start using it to get more miles. So whenever I do things like this, I don't have to pay as much because I'm earning points. So it's like, I don't know. I just was thinking about it in the shower. I'm like, damn, it'd be so nice if there was someone else here to take half the load, and I wouldn't have to worry about half as much as I do, because I don't want to pay $70 for an Uber if my license doesn't get here in time.
And let me say this too, for the fellas, because I know a lot of the fellas, man, especially today, that would be the hardest thing in your life, to just tell your lady, like, nah, we're not doing that, and just look at her and just, yeah, we're not. So you may have to approach the situation with a little bit more finesse, a little bit more thoughtfulness, right? Here's how you do that. She comes to you, hey, my college friend. How many college friends you think she got? A lot. Let this keep up. There's going to be a new thing probably every quarter that y'all got to go to. So she comes to you, my college friend's having a wedding in this other place that we both need to go attend, because what she didn't factor in, she's like, we can split the hotel. Yeah, but there's also going to be a lot of costs that are going to be added on if you add that other person. But I digress. She says, my college friend's having this wedding, etc., and I want to go. And, you know, let's just say in your case, fellas, you're, you know, you're afraid to just say, nah. What you do is you say, oh, okay. Oh, man. Well, that's cool. But I had this other trip for us planned because you was probably going to take your chick on a trip anyway for that year, right? Oh, man. Well, okay, no worries. I'll just cancel our trip that we were going to take to XYZ destination location. And yeah, we can go there because you'll still save regardless. But now, you know, if you know your lady was expecting that, you know, some type of trip or something special for y'all, now it's just okay. Well, we'll just sacrifice this over here so that I can do what you want to do for your friend. Apparently, it's important to you, right? And then what you'll find is it's not that important because then she's got a decision to make, and it's probably going to be like, oh, well, nah, she's not going to come before my trip, which is how it should be anyway. It should be she's not going to come before our finances, before our financial future, before us getting ahead, before us dollar cost averaging into the stock market or saving up for whatever it is that we're trying to save up for. But if you frame it like that, then you know if you are, you know, if you're worried about the confrontation that may come of just making the right call, then that's an option. And you know, you don't have to be fixed to that exact way, but it just kind of gets your wheels turning of you just using a little bit more finesse and pizzazz when you're you know, making the right judgment call. But we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually does help out tremendously. Also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it actually helps smaller content creators and it pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and then it shows you the points. And since I am a smaller content creator, we actually get more points. And then also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.